What's up, freedom lover? Welcome back to the JP Reacts channel. I have my guardian angel / one of my best friends on the planet / funny comedian / truth seer and teller, Brent Pella, with me today.
Hello, friends and family. How are ya? Fellow aliens?
Yeah. Normally on this channel, which we're also going to do today, calling out the lies and corruption of tyrants, highlighting woke absurdities, also highlighting the amazing work of other freedom fighters. Now, does it get any more tyrannical than aliens wanting to invade planet Earth? I don't know.
I don't think so, because it's kind of like our thing. Like Earth is kind of our thing.
It's our territory.
You know? It's our territory. It's our home. It's our habitat.
We've marked it with our urination ownership program. So I've always been into aliens, like curious, do they exist? Do they not? If so, what's their agenda? Are they here to help? Are they here to hurt? Do you believe in aliens?
I believe 100% in aliens, because I believe in us. And technically we are aliens to them, you know? So who's to say who's the weirder species? We don't know. Are they out there? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really do believe.
And the evidence is here we are to someone else.
Exactly.
So we thought it fitting today, take a look at a video called How to Defend Earth Against an Alien Invasion.
Which is information I think everybody should have. Do you have a plan in case an alien invasion happens?
Yep, my plan is to get very scared and then perish.
Cool. Yeah, that's something along the lines of mine.
But I haven't seen this video. I'm looking forward to see if I can like supplement that plan with anything more helpful than
to add some minutes to your life. Yeah, we'll see.
By the way, let me know in the comments your take on aliens. Just like one sentence, give me your stance. Do they exist? Do they not? What's your opinion on their agenda? Trump created Space Force for a reason. I think he might have known something we don't.
I wish he would have told us more.
Yeah, that's probably why the FBI raided him.
Imagine one night you're out admiring the starry sky and you spot a shooting star, then another, and another. And suddenly you realize those aren't stars, they're UFOs. And they're coming for our, well, something. While the likelihood is minuscule, the threat of an alien attack is serious enough that governments around the world, including the United States, all have top secret contingency plans in place for just such an event. But
I like the people behind the scenes in the Pentagon, like they would actually say, it's time for the top secret plan. That's what they would say.
It's time for the top secret plan. Look, they nailed every demographic of person here.
They've even got a ginger there in the middle.
That's for you. They did that specifically for you. Isn't that wild?
Dude, this is the most inclusive
they got
cartoon.
Matt Walsh on the left.
Yep. Kobe Bryant as his prime next to him.
Yeah, with the fro. Yeah. Over here on the far right. On the far right is an ethnically ambiguous man. This is good. Or woman, actually. You don't know. That they left that one up for interpretation.
He doesn't have a nose, so whatever pronoun that is.
Yep. But if history has taught us anything about a superior culture making hostile contact with an inferior one, it's that things don't usually work out well for the natives. So is there anything we could do to defend the Earth against technologically superior alien invaders? To explore the question, let's first assume one thing about our...
Dude, I love how accurate the alien depictions are. That's definitely probably what they would look like.
100%. They look like slugs with antenna that's way too big, and one has 2 and the other has 3.
What's this say? Last month they were lobotomizing pumpkins. Now they're shoving bread up a turkey's ass. This planet has issues.
That's hilarious.
That's what the aliens are concerned about.
That's their perspective toward our Halloween and Thanksgiving. That's so funny.
This is like vegan propaganda. Yeah. Like that's where you need to shove the bread, people.
Alien foes. They don't want to outright destroy Earth. After all, if total destruction was their goal, then it would be as simple as dropping asteroids on our head and watching the fireworks from space. So the president's phone rings late one night, waking him from his sleep.
For sure.
NASA has discovered alien ships en route to Earth, and they don't look friendly. What now? The first step in defending Earth would be to decide
That's
on
also
a global
probably
strategy.
the nicest depiction of Trump that I've ever seen in like a piece of media.
Yeah.
He looks like very well put together. He went to bed with hair gel in his hair. His phone matches his hair, you know? Like this is the only depiction I've seen of him where he's not some crazy psycho lunatic.
Assumption that the aliens find interstellar travel and the invasion of entire worlds to be a very expensive affair in terms of resources and manpower, or alien power I suppose, we should adopt a strategy of harassment and delay, not unlike that employed by guerrilla forces around the world in our recent history. Odds are that if aliens can cross the stars, our tanks and planes aren't going to stand up very well to their tanks and planes, so we shouldn't try. Instead, we should focus on making the war as long, painful, and expensive for the aliens as possible, with the ultimate goal of forcing the aliens to reconsider continuing their invasion in face of such a steep cost in lives, finances, and materials.
Sounds like a Dick Cheney warmonger alien invasion.
100%.
Let's just make this war as long and expensive as possible.
And let's figure out how we can make as much money from it as we possibly can. Get Dick on the phone.
Yeah.
The first phase of our defense strategy would be to try and deny the local space around Earth to the aliens, or at least make it extremely hazardous for them. We can achieve this by triggering what scientists call the Kessler syndrome, or when orbital space around a planet is so full of debris that any attempts to enter orbit are extremely hazardous due to the high chance of collision. Currently, there are 2,000 satellites in orbit around Earth, and an estimated 600,000 pieces of space junk ranging from 1 centimeter to 10 centimeters in size, which destroy one satellite a year. With man-made objects reaching speeds of several kilometers a second, even a single flake of paint can strike with enough kinetic energy to do serious damage.
Wow. See, that's crazy, because not only do we trash our planet with landfills and oil spills and everything, but humans are so shitty that we trash space.
Yeah.
Like, we treat space like a junkyard. That's crazy.
And with the 600,000 pieces of space junk, I think he said some of it is as small as a millimeter in diameter. I don't understand when we're pretending to land on the moon, things like that. How do they track? Like, we know where that
exactly
500,000 piece of millimeter debris is, or are they just like, guys, odds are we won't hit it?
It's got to be. I don't think they can track that. Like, when Elon Musk is launching rockets, I don't think he can track things that are the size of like an eraser tip.
Yeah,
you just gotta hope that it's not gonna hit, because if it does, the energy is gonna make it pop off.
Apparently.
Yeah.
The aliens don't shield their landing craft as well as the motherships that cross space at near or faster than light speed, then it's likely that a Kessler effect will present an extreme hazard that will hamper or slow their invasion attempts. In order to create a protective shield of space junk around Earth, we could simply target our own satellites and destroy them in place, or if we had enough time, outfit ballistic missiles with fragmentation warheads that would explode into billions of tiny shards.
I like how littering is.
That's
literally the defense strategy. Guys, we're gonna litter.
We're gonna litter. You know that thing we tell everybody not to do? We're gonna do that around the planet. And then we'd never be able to leave the planet, though. That's the issue.
Dude, this is like a Klaus Schwab, George Soros thing. Like, the exact bad thing to do. We're going to do that, and it's going to be good. It's going to be literally for your protection against these tyrannical aliens.
That's crazy.
I'm a little suspicious at best at this point.
Yep.
But I like it seems like they're talking about legitimate defense strategies, like the Dick Cheney plan. I guess you make it the war as long, drawn out, and expensive as possible for the enemy, kind of like try to starve their resources.
Yeah.
It seems like a legitimate strategy.
Yeah, it does. And at least with this, we are like protecting the surface of the Earth, even though we would probably never be able to leave the Earth because we can't get through all the crap that we put into space.
It's like space social distancing. They're tricking us into that. Don't leave your home.
It's more conditioning.
While large pieces of junk would likely be easy for the aliens to track and destroy, it would certainly be difficult and very time-consuming to try and eliminate millions of pieces of space debris the size of a screw. The next step in our Earth defense plan would be to target alien ships during their most vulnerable phase, as they enter the atmosphere. When the American space shuttle re-entered Earth's atmosphere, it experienced incredible heating due to friction with the air, reaching temperatures of up to 21,140 degrees Fahrenheit. As the shuttle transferred its kinetic energy into thermal energy, it created a shockwave directly in front of the craft, and the extreme heat formed a cloud of plasma around the vehicle, which prevented radio communications or the use of onboard sensors. It is likely that alien craft would experience a similar phenomenon, presenting an opportune time to strike, as they would likely be flying blind and unable to maneuver without tearing themselves to pieces.
A question I have on this is, I think one of the assumptions humans make about aliens and their spacecraft technology is that they're like us, their technology's like us. It's like we're looking at it through our narrow lens of what we have and projecting that onto them. But some of the you listen to some of the Joe Rogan podcasts with Jeremy Corbyn and the hell's the guy?
Bob
Lazar.
Yeah.
And in some of these Tic Tac videos with the Air Force radar tracking potential UFOs, and you start to see like, oh, they're covering distances and moving in ways that defy our physics. So like I do question if there are aliens, like this whole piece about re-entry into Earth.
Yeah.
Does that even apply to
As
them?
if they're going to enter our atmosphere the same exact way our space shuttles enter our atmosphere. They might move interdimensionally. They might come through wormholes. They might have gravitational propulsion systems that allow them to skip all these phases, and it just moves them through the air. So yeah, I definitely question that too. Wow.
But say our artificial Kessler syndrome and our high-altitude interceptors weren't enough to keep the aliens at bay.
Okay.
What now? One option would be to prepare ahead of time for the possibility of invasion with a sort of nuclear dead man switch.
Just
that is,
explode,
we would disperse nuclear weapons around the planet and hold ourselves and the aliens hostage.
Dude, explode the Earth to protect the Earth. Dude, this is completely like...
oh my God, dude.
The tyrants, dude, this is a good idea. We're going to save your life by destroying your life. Stay in your homes. Wear this.
That's so crazy. The end result for all these types of things, it always seems to be just a nuclear holocaust. Whether it's a zombie invasion or aliens, there always seems to be the option of just killing everybody and going down with the ship.
And that probably brings up the archetypal moral dilemma, like, do we kill half the people on Earth to save the other half, or do we, based on our thinking, let everybody on the Earth perish?
Yeah. Do you have a bunker if this happened?
I'm going to get a shovel after this
Okay,
video,
cool.
because I don't
Yeah.
like our defense plan, blow ourselves up with atomic warheads.
Doesn't feel the best,
Need a bunker.
you know?
See the link in the description. This video is sponsored by Bunker Technologies, ladies and gentlemen.
When it's time to hunker, get a bunker.
Yeah. Nobody does bunkers like bunker.
If the aliens are invading, then it's probable they want this planet to remain habitable. So by threatening the detonation of hundreds of nuclear weapons around the world, we might just be able to deter them. Who would want to rule
you
over an
threaten them,
irradiated
don't
rock
shoot
plunged into nuclear winter? Not to mention the loss of the aliens' own forces in the subsequent global apocalypse. If this strategy fails, however, our next option would be to do as other human forces have done throughout history and resort to guerrilla warfare. Rather than try and combat the aliens toe-to-toe, we would instead open our military armories up to the civilian population and give weapons, ammunition, and other survival supplies to as many people as possible.
I like that.
Because our
That would
cities
be
would be the most
wild.
obvious and immediate targets, our standing military forces would then be ordered to disperse into the countryside. Military leadership would no longer operate on a national level. Instead, local forces would join into guerrilla militias and operate under their own prerogative, striking at the aliens' supply, command and control, and resource networks, not dissimilar.
We already do this in Texas. So we do the Texan plan globally.
I don't not like this. I feel like the country would probably be as united as it ever could be. You'd still have small sects of people being like, no, peace, let's be like, let's love, let's be in love, let's welcome them with open arms. But if they're already attacking us or threatening to, I don't know of any other time in history that the country and the world in general will have been more united than if this happened.
Wouldn't it be weird if like shooting at the UFOs with like guns actually worked? I think it'd be futile, but I like the idea of like
A metal bullet just taking down a UFO? Sure.
got him. That was easier than I thought. The missiles didn't do it, but our guns will.
Similar to strategy employed by stranded American forces after the Japanese seized the Philippines in World War II. This is also not unlike the strategy employed to great effect against both the United States and the Soviet Union by Afghan Mujahideen. In both wars, the native Afghan militias faced an overwhelmingly technologically superior foe that was better armed and better trained.
They got the guns right here. Did you notice that?
I didn't.
The American forces have AR-15s, and these guys have AK-47s.
Wow.
And these
research.
are all characters based on Bill Hader. These all look like Bill Hader. That is hilarious.
Afghan Mujahideen. In both wars, the native Afghan militias faced an overwhelmingly technologically superior foe that was better armed and better trained. Both the United States and the Soviet Union initially dominated the majority of the Afghan countryside, and yet in both wars, the world's two superpowers were forced to eventually retreat. The strategy that led the Afghan Mujahideen to victory against the number 1 and number 2 most powerful militaries on Earth was the same as that we would employ against aliens. Harass and delay the enemy until the economic and political cost of the war is too great to continue. But would dragging alien invaders into a drawn-out and costly war really be an effective strategy? Considering that aliens would have to replace losses of equipment and soldiers by resupplying from their home planet.
All right, hang on. What drugs do you think each of these guys are on right now?
Yeah, guy on the left with 3 eyes, I would say Molly.
Okay.
Guy in the middle, probably a really bad acid trip.
Okay.
Guy on the right, way too many edibles. And then the guy on the purple guy on the right, it looks like he's kind of vomiting. So
yeah.
I don't know what that. He kind of looks a little methed out, maybe
a little methed
classic
out for
alcoholic.
Sure. Yeah, I would say the guy on the left accidentally took too much LSD and grew a third eye because of it. Guy in the middle looks like he's fallen down a K-hole on ketamine. This guy on the right here with the bluish guy, he looks like he really wants to have a heart-to-heart with you.
Okay.
Like he looks like he's expressing himself, so I'd put him on Molly. And then, yeah, I don't know what the far right guy is like.
Yeah, he's maybe
tongue or...
He's just wishing he was on...
Maybe the aliens are just coming to party. Has anyone thought of that? Maybe they just know that we love to party out here, and they're coming to kick it. They want to fill a keg and, go out to the cuts of Texas and just have a hoedown.
Yeah, put the keg out instead of the exploding our planet with nuclear bombs.
That would be awesome.
Submit that to the Pentagon.
While we enjoy the home field advantage and don't have to cross interstellar space with our reinforcements, it is a valid tactic that could potentially work. In fact, throughout human history, wars of attrition have been the only tactic ever employed by a technologically inferior foe versus a superior invader that has ever seen success, as proven in recent centuries by forces in parts of colonial Africa and the Middle East. Realistically, if aliens have the power to cross the galaxy and wanted our planet, there's little we could actually do. Whether they bombarded us from space with asteroids and waited out the resulting nuclear winter, or simply bioengineered a super plague that eradicated human life, their technology would almost certainly be too great to resist. However, if we are ever faced with our favorite of science fiction scenarios, at least we know that we stand a fighting chance of victory. And while this scenario will most likely never happen, what will happen for sure is that you will, at some point, need a website. And when you do, remember these words.
Yeah, that's good.
We're just going into an advertisement. So that's how to defend the Earth against alien invasion. I'm curious, moral of the story, Brent, what are your practical takeaways from this education?
Takeaway, it's tough to say, but... the reality is, if aliens can cross space and time and get here interdimensionally, we better try to just be their friends.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have a shot.
Yeah.
I just don't think we have a shot. We don't have a shot.
Yeah.
We can try.
Yeah, I think the last piece of the video of realistically, if they came, there's probably little we can do. I agree with that. So to me, the moral of the story is I'm helpless. And that's probably okay, but I think also what you said of try to befriend them.
Try to befriend them. Hope that they're really into drugs, because we got a lot of those out here on Earth. And see if that's what it takes to let them bond with us instead of bomb us.
Yeah. I think we've all learned a lot here. How to defend ourselves against tyrannical aliens. This has been a rich learning experience. But for me, so fun to explore. Aliens are fun. I'd say most of me believes there are aliens, and most of that part of me believes if there are aliens and there's like speculation they're already monitoring us, I do feel optimistic that they're actually here benevolently and maybe caring about us and want to do a greater good for us. Yep. And if I'm wrong, I'd still rather believe that than be stressed out by the
I don't want to live in fear of aliens, If they had come and they start shooting at us or acting aggressive, we got no shot. But I think that in all likelihood, they've already arrived or they've been here for a very long time. And because we haven't been wiped out yet, that gives me some hope and some faith.
Yeah.
So feel pretty good.
And that's something we can all grow on. And Brent, because you are a PhD in alienology, where can people find you online?
You can find me in the YouTubes and all throughout the social media space. Brent Pella. Type it into YouTube, Instagram. If you like alien videos, you'll love some of the stuff I've done on my channels for sure.
Oh, yeah, we have to, in the link on this video, you'll see Brent's channel. You can subscribe very easy. We'll also link one of your alien videos.
Yeah.
It's maybe my favorite video I've ever seen on the internet. He's got this blue alien character, amazing makeup, such a funny video. It's awesome.
Super fun.
Check that out.
Cool.
Brent, it's been a pleasure. My freedom-loving friend, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.